I'm a living example of you can get punched in the face and get back up, because I'm the modern day Aztec warrior.
Soundcave.
Welcome back to MMA Underground, your favorite part of Tuesday. I'm one half the dynamic duo known as Buddy V, killing it with the one and only
Soundcave. And shit, man, we got two phenomenal guests in the building as always, all the way from Streetbeefs West Coast, as well as you've seen them in Scrapyard. We have the one, the only Marauder in the building.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Also from Streetbeefs Scrapyard, we have a newcomer to the yard, Miss TiffanyEds in the building. How y'all doing?
Yeah,
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Glad to have y'all.
y'all just saw me drop all my stuff on live TV. Dang it! Oh man.
I'm like, buddy, what you doing?
Yeah, all right. We'll just get that later. All right, but how's everyone doing this fine Tuesday?
Doing great. Relaxing, day off work.
All
Nice.
right. Now, we have to address the elephant in the room before we go further, because that Tyson fight was just this Friday. And while we can talk about that, we got to talk about that opening fight, that Serrano fight. Holy crap, that should have been the main one. Did you guys check that out? Anybody?
I
I
saw
didn't see the
highlights of
first
a
one.
busted open forehead, but
Of course. We had to catch it, man. Had to catch it. That was history and that was fight history right there. Regardless to what we saw, it was still history. Live.
Right.
What'd you think? TiffanyEds?
About the opening fight or the Tyson fight?
Both. Heck yeah.
Oh, the opening fight I didn't see. I really only came for the Tyson fight. And honestly, it was pretty boring, but it was cool to watch,
I will say, I will give Jake he earned a little bit of my respect. So I saw one or two of the overhands when he threw when Tyson stumbled, and you could even hear the announcers like, "Why is he not rushing in?" And he was like,
Yeah.
And he paused, and I was like, "Okay, I see you not trying to give him." Okay.
Yeah.
Whether that was in the clause or not. No.
Yeah.
But
I see so many people reading into the fight and trying to say it was one way or another. But I'm like, I don't know. People just do things in the ring a certain way.
Yeah. I mean, Tyson did get paid $20 million to lose, so.
I don't know. Does he need 20 million?
I mean, he might. He's getting old.
I want 20 million.
The check, both parties got paid, but both parties don't need the money. But the idea is what agreements can we make in the future? And this creates a lot of future agreements that can be made or have already been made.
Word.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Man, but
respect for
I was gonna say,
Tyson.
we're here
getting
for
in that
y'all.
ring at 58. I said respect to Tyson for getting in that ring at 58 years old.
Right.
That's crazy.
Heck yeah. I could have done without the assless chaps afterwards. No,
Oh, for sure.
We know what it was, King Cow. We know what it was.
No, but I was just saying, let's get back to y'all because y'all were here and we're talking about some killer fights. And before we get you a question, Marauder, I was gonna ask TiffanyEds. Your fight was crazy because you didn't just do boxing. You did boxing with MMA gloves. I mean, not many people would do that for their first fight. I have to ask, what made you want to do that? I mean, that was badass. Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, so originally I was supposed to have a fight with a different person that was the same weight I was, but she ended up not being able to make it to the fight. So this was kind of like a last minute situation because I was going to do MMA with the original opponent. But then I found out that this person was like 30 pounds, 40 pounds heavier than I was. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go in there with boxing gloves because I don't use boxing gloves to begin with. And I'm not going to try to do MMA with somebody that much heavier than I am. So I just kind of split it down the middle, you know, boxing with MMA gloves.
Hey, kudos to you because I mean, most of the guys wouldn't do something like that, you know. So
It's how I am when I do fights. I personally like to have weight on my hands, not pillows. I like to feel my punches.
You're gonna feel that today.
You could tell when the fight first started. I mean, you came walking out with a certain confidence and a certain air of aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I mean, talk about amazing fights in the scrapyard, Marauder. I watched your fight that recently dropped with the chef, and okay, round one, right at the buzzer, it was like a 3-pointer buzzer round shot right before the bell ring. I saw you get that, and then round 3, you had a killer sweep. I was just like, oh my god! I was like grabbing my couch before I realized, like, take a deep breath. The fight's gonna be done soon. I was like, so I was gonna ask you, what are your thoughts on that fight? I mean, that was crazy fun.
Man, I feel like I learn more and more about myself and about fighting with each fight. And my takeaway from this fight was like, I needed more aggression right out the gate. I couldn't just like play patty cake with him. And there were times when he woke me up and made me play like my game. I shouldn't have been trying to box with this kid who's a boxer. I should have been kicking him in the legs and grabbing him and throwing him around because I'm heavier than him. And that's what I started doing in the third round.
Yep.
If I was that at the beginning, it would have been mine, you know? So I guess I learned to like use my tools, and it was a dope ass experience. It was a fire experience. It was like the energy was off the hook.
You guys really pushed each other. I mean, for him to perform the way he did, it required you to give him a fight, and it was a damn good fight.
Oh yeah. Yeah, me and him trained together once at his gym, and the organizers, they asked me like, are you sure you want to run it with him since you guys train together? Are you guys like cool like that? And I was pretty nervous because I've seen like, he did play with me a bit in sparring. He could push me around. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
And is it kind of cool to have 2 badass fights drop in a week? Because I mean,
right?
yeah,
I was hyped about that.
2.
Like 3 days apart. Yeah.
I was just about to segue into that because I ref that event, but it just so happened that I showed up right after your fight, and I remember you coming up, and you were so excited, and you were telling me about it, and I was like, oh wow, okay, and I was really looking forward to seeing it, and when it dropped, man, once again, you surprised it, and you really put on and leveled up. You want to go ahead and talk to us about that fight?
Yeah, that fight was great. I was happy to be having another event in the West Coast because I've been fighting in the scrapyard for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use a lot of emotions in the ring, and this fight particularly, I went in as calm as I could, and it paid off. I was a lot less aggressive than I would like to be, but I was as fit and mentally strong as I would like to be. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think if I had a more aggressive opponent, it would have turned me on more and made me perform better. Like, I feel like my performance with Chef was more explosive because I had to respond to what he had. Like I was setting the pace a little bit more in that West Coast fight, but it was still good regardless.
Did you fight? Was that fight the first fight of the event?
Yeah.
So maybe that might have played a role.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because we start ours pretty early in the morning, especially at those hot box events.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine the heat. Oh man,
yeah, it was wild.
The heat's a good way to describe your fight. Like in the old video, he's heating up. Like I felt like you just kept going like this, and you could feel your opponent kind of like in the video game, just kind of. And I felt like you were gaining this power to where at the end of the third round, especially, it just felt like it was just everything was just flowing. It was natural, and like you weren't even thinking about it. You were just hitting, responding, and your body was just in that zone. You were ready to go.
Right.
I
I got to tap into that flow state just for a little bit. But if I can turn that on, just like on command, it'll be over.
Oh, right. Now, it's crazy you said that because one thing that I was going to ask TiffanyEds, those getting in that mentality of that fight is I was curious. There was a few face shots you took that were like dead on the jaw, and you did not seem phased at all. Like you kept pushing forward, and I was just like, "What the heck?" So I was curious, like, how much or how did you prepare for your debut at the Scrapyard leading up to that fight? Because I was just like blown away. You ate some of those shots.
To be completely honest, there was no training, no preparing. I just kept it straight and narrow. I was like sick most of the time for like the times I should have been training. So I just didn't really have the energy to get up and train. But I got a couple of sparring sessions in with John Eds. That was about it.
Well, you definitely had the better technique out of the two of you. And, it's something to deal with a flurry. When someone's coming at you with a flurry, it's hard to maintain that technique. So, you have a good potential in that alone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, how did we get the name TiffanyEds?
Why his John Eds, and we got married, so now I'm TiffanyEds.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it.
That's dope.
Shout
Shout out to John Eds. Shout out to John Eds.
Yeah. So we got to know real quick, who's that on the back wall? Who's that a poster of?
That? Which one?
The cutout.
No, the cutout.
The dude.
That's Shaden Sharp.
Wow.
Yeah. Move your head.
Yeah, Shaden Sharp.
That's Shaden Sharp right there.
From the Trailblazers.
Okay, that's cool as shit.
He's
It's
got
a
the holding the
resolution.
Jamba Juice and everything.
Tell him how we got.
Yeah. We actually went to Jamba Juice like, what was it, like? A couple years ago, and they had the cutout, and I was like, "What's it gonna take for me to have that cutout?" And they're like, "Well, if you come back before everybody else does, you can have it at the end of the season."
First, right there, just.
Yeah,
That's dope. So I wanted to ask you real quick. I think you're one of the first we've had on the show in this scenario where we have the wife of a fighter fighting. Could you talk to us? How did you get into that scenario? Steve. Okay.
Yeah, for months he's been, every time I go up to the fights and corner John, he just always asks me to fight. And then this time he like convinced me, I guess. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
Awesome.
Under these circumstances, we're gonna do MMA. And then, like I said, that one didn't work out, so I just took the next.
Well, we're gonna see you back in that cage.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see with time.
Yeah. Now, I was gonna ask you, Marauder. I was curious because we talked about TiffanyEds' debut, and I believe your debut was against Battleborn, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what were like kind of the thoughts going through your head, or were you nervous going against a staple like a fighter that was very well known in the West Coast for your debut? Did that kind of play a role, or were you just like, shit, yeah, I can't wait to get out there?
Yeah, I did a bit of smelling my own farts before I went to Vegas. I thought I was the shit, but I was also very like starstruck because I watch like a lot of these guys, particularly Shinny, and like seeing all these Isaac, Free Smoke, like all these like figures, Tiny Tank. So yeah, it was wild. I was definitely like, I remember it like it was yesterday, like core memory type shit.
Hey, they stick out. You know, it's like one of those things. Your debut fight. I think the biggest thing for me is everyone kept saying you're gonna lose your lungs. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I've been working out. I'm doing this and that, and then yeah, cardio is key.
That's what they say. They tend to say they tend to say that. They tend to say that. But you know what? Just to touch off of that, Marauder. Not only did you fight a staple in the West Coast, but you followed up with another fight at that same event. Can you talk to us about, what led up to that? How did we do that? 'Cause most people don't do that.
Okay, well, I came in thinking like I had a certain level of skill, and then when I went in there against Battleborn and got showed I don't, it was like, damn, I need to show myself that I can do it. And I didn't come out here all the way into the desert just to get my ass kicked for a couple minutes. So I asked to put it on again, and I felt like I was able to. I wasn't injured. I was grateful that there was another guy that was willing to do it. I could tell that it was kind of like his wheelhouse when he was asking me like, oh, do you want to do MMA? Do you want to do this and that? I was like, okay, this guy, he's with it. He's not, he's going to beat my ass, but it worked out.
Hell yeah.
So,
Well, I was curious too with having these different fights. Because we asked people, if they'd ever go fight in other yards, these unlockable cages. But I'm actually curious with you having experienced multiple times in both the yards. What are your thoughts on both the advantages and the disadvantages of fighting, whether in both the scrapyard or on the West Coast? Because that's the best part is the environment. It's raw. I love it. But each has something to offer.
Right? Yeah, I hear that. I don't want to say anything to offend anybody.
nah, bro, tell the truth.
Okay.
It's your experience.
Okay. My experience has been that like the West Coast is way more raw. Like the people there hit you with intent to hurt you. Like every single person there is a savage. Where the scrapyard, it's a lot more friendly. Like you don't see a lot of injuries or people getting hurt, and the competition is not as stiff. But that's not to say they're not as good as fighters. It just feels a lot more like from a soft place. But it's both good.
I think he meant in a way of like the environments, like the cage themselves, the ring, the flooring, or lack of.
Yeah, that's different. Fighting on sand versus turf. The sand, it makes you like slip around a little bit. I can't get that good grip when I'm throwing my kicks and trying to like skip back and forth. But the turf does that too a little bit. It'll slip under your feet, especially when it's wet and rainy in the scrapyard. Yeah, and the hot box is its own beast with the pallets. Like it's like a Mortal Kombat stage fatality if you get knocked into the walls.
Facts.
So yeah, and I'm excited to see the
videos too when you hear it.
I'm excited to see the Smoke Ranch's new cage. I hear they got a new one put up, at least since I've been around.
Nah,
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well.
My lights have flickered once or twice. The heads up. If all my shit shuts off, that's why. Just the heads up. But so Tiffany. Yeah, I don't know. There's like a cold or something, some winds. My stuff's been like flickering on and off a little bit. So if I just magically just cut out of nowhere, it's because everything got shut down real quick. So that's just it. But anyway, sorry. TiffanyEds, I was curious. Having had your fight and whatnot, was there any female fighters that you looked at, you studied, that you enjoy watching even, or any fighters in general? Like for me personally, the BKFC Christine Freya. Oh my gosh, she knocks fools into next universes. I'm like, boom.
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't have any favorites really.
Hey, I could dig it.
Yeah, I don't play favorites.
Did you grow up fighting at all, or is this something you recently picked up?
I did a lot of street fighting in my days. Yeah. I was not a good kid. I did football and wrestling as well.
Okay. Okay.
What? Damn. Okay. All right. So I mean, if let's say hypothetically that somebody signed up in the post and you just saw them happen to be around your weight, they're trying to look for an MMA match. Do you just feel like you might be inclined to sign up just because you think you could get that match? Because I mean, after hearing you got some wrestling, that's crazy.
I think she froze, bro.
Yeah.
TiffanyEds, you still there? Can you hear us?
Dang. I guess I jinxed us, don't I? Dang. Now, well, the Marauder. I was curious because you have had a lot of fights, but as a fighter, you don't even look as the same person as the first time you stepped in the cage. With that being said, is there anybody throughout the history that you would maybe possibly want to rematch? Now having a new set of skills, having becoming a new level of fighter.
Yeah. I don't know when Glitch's last fight was, but I'd want to fight him again. There was actually a while where like I was dealing with some shit because family were telling me to stop fighting because they think it's like a symptom of mental illness. And then I was talking to Glitch, being like, "Do you think like fighting is bad for the mental health?" And he like helped me be like, "No, it's not." So I would love to run it with him again. Especially since I'm a whole new person nowadays. It feels like if I could fight Campos again, which was my second fight against Battleborn, I feel like we didn't even get to put anything on. And he was a crazy opponent. If I could fight him, if he's around, that'd be something. Man, there's a lot.
I believe that was Duva's son, someone said.
Yeah.
So maybe talk to Duva and see if he can set that up because he hasn't been back with his son since that fight. But Duva he is a belt holder. He's a champion. So
Right.
I just reach out to him and see,
Yeah, not a bad
Glitch on the
idea.
other hand. I'm sorry.
I said not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. And Glitch on the other hand, I haven't seen Glitch in at an event in a long time, over a year. I know he's always training. But it wouldn't be hard to reach out to him as well.
Dang. And I'm kind of curious because, like I said, you have evolved as a fighter. So, what do you feel is your greatest growth in what skill, in what way, in what shape or form, and about that journey from that first fight to here? Because like it's really fun to be able to watch people on the journeys, watch people see something, and like I've told people, my first 3 fights were all losses. I came back and I got 2 fights in a day and I won both. So it's like it's one of those things where it's really enjoyable. And even your build, you look just more stocky too, like just more solid. Like some of those leg kicks in your Katsu fight, I was like, okay.
Yeah, run it back for me real quick. I'm spacing out.
What do you feel is your greatest improvement as a fighter?
Okay. I was very fearful before a lot of my fights, and now I'm way more chilled out. Like I understand what it's gonna feel like being in the fight, so I'm not scared as like I was. So that's my big one. Mental strength. I'm chilling. It's just another human standing in front of me. He can't hurt me as much as I can hurt him.
Yeah.
If you feel, I want to touch on that real quick because as Buddy said, you've been in a lot of fights, and I feel you're one of the West Coast fighters who's gone through, at least through his fights, gone through a lot of adversity. We've seen the L's, we've seen the comebacks, and one thing I gotta give you credit and really applaud you on is always returning to face the fight again, and that's something. It's not easy to do, for anyone. And I just wanted to ask you, like, if you could, and summarize, how were you able to come back time and time again, after, these fights?
Yeah, I've had some insanely discouraging experiences, but you you lose if you don't show up again. That was like the main thought I had, was I really lose if I let this keep me from enjoying fighting. And yeah, I just knew it's something I wanted to do, and I couldn't let someone else tell me that I couldn't do it by beating me up and taking that enjoyment away from me. So that was the main motivator. Um, yeah, I say like I have nothing to prove. That was the thing I said before Noxu and the chef. That I say that now because like I've already proved myself. I've gotten over my shit and I'm chilling. I'm that shit now. I'm doing good now.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, just like
That's
I won't let myself keep myself from enjoying fighting. That's what keeps me going.
Oh yeah. And I like some of the content you put out all between your fights too. When you actually have the Muay Thai pads and you have them on a tree over here, you have them on a branch, you have them on a pole. I'm like, shit. There's days where I'm like, I don't really feel like training. And I'm like, man, this man's gone out and he doesn't have fucking someone to train with. He's put this shit on a tree. I have no excuse. I gotta at least run. I gotta do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're telling that fight was insane.
That physical, getting that physical part of training in is key, but also the mental aspect, and that's something that we've heard you touch on throughout this interview. And we can see it in your fights, I know the first few early on, you could see the nerves, you could see the fears, and we saw the results, but I haven't really seen that as of late, and I'm proud of you, man, because it shows the growth, and it shows the no quit,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Like you're one of those guys I look up to. So for you to say that means a lot to me.
appreciate it.
Nice. So you're back, TiffanyEds? All right.
Yeah, so I had to switch to my phone. It's like really stormy outside right now and raining. So.
Yeah, we're supposed to have like a hurricane warning or something going on.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a cyclone.
Oh, that's crazy. I just got the cold front up here. That's just whoo.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what was it? So before your fight, you said you gave a shout out to Backside Basket. Am I saying that right?
Back to the basket.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
What was that?
So most of that stuff that you guys see in our background, that's all stuff from Back to the Basket. They resell like shoes and posters, like blazer posters. They got clothing, a lot of antique stuff. So a lot of that stuff that we got in the bedrooms from there.
Nice. And earlier we asked Marauder that we're talking about some of the skills and his growth, and I was actually going to ask you what's after having that fight and experiencing that. If you were to get an MMA fight or another boxing anything, what's one skill that you would want to improve the most?
Probably my groundwork if I was to do MMA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. Were you going to say something, okay?
No.
I was gonna ask if she didn't have anything else. I was gonna ask, did the weather play any effect on you guys' fight? Did you feel the weather effect at all?
No, I just knew I was gonna win as soon as it started raining.
Oh wow, you got that boost.
Yeah. Don't you know when you're doing something and it starts raining, it's good luck? When we had our wedding in Montana, it started raining on us.
Okay.
In the middle of the wedding. Yeah. And as soon as the wedding was over, it stopped.
Oh wow.
Just like as soon as our fight was over, it stopped.
Dang, plus 15 luck,
Yeah.
Hey, it started raining in my scrapyard fight, and I was like, damn, and I don't know. I think it did give me a little boost,
Yeah. Especially when you get hot and you start getting sweaty and that rain hits you.
Get that
Feels
cool
pretty
effect.
good. Yeah.
You got that Dragon Ball Z effect. You can see the steam coming off.
Yeah.
I know Fire Chicken had asked a good question earlier about how if either of you had any future opponents in mind, if you would be able to choose one. That's actually a pretty good one.
Honestly, for me, no, I don't have any like specifics.
Okay. When my first time going to the scrapyard, I said, "Don't pair me with Crazy Legs." And I've been fighting at like 135 before, but I've gained a bit of weight. I'm walking around like 160 nowadays. So I would take that. After seeing him fight Dad, it made me want to fight Crazy Legs.
I feel like you could do it, definitely.
Goals.
Right?
Hold on. So I'm curious. I did notice some of your weight fluctuating in some of your fights. So do you try to lose weight before your fight, or you try to like maintain or fight around your walk around weight?
I don't change anything I do. So if I lose a little bit of weight, it's just natural. I float at like 150, give or take.
Yeah. Okay, all
Is-
right. I like that.
Fire Chicken, silent but deadly. Y'all got a silent but deadly, or are you talking about silent but deadly from OG Yard? You talking about
I
OG
think
Yard silent but deadly?
yeah, that's who we
He
were
is?
supposed to be.
That would be fire.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad though because she's like in her 40s.
I'm watching the fight in my head right
That's
now.
gonna be like that's gonna be literally like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul right there. I'm only 23.
So
Yeah.
heck yeah, young the fuck yeah. Boo, boo, boo.
Yeah.
So she's coming out to Scrapyard?
No, that's the fight that I was originally supposed to have, but then she couldn't make it.
Mm,
I was gonna do MMA with her.
All right.
okay,
Wait,
and
Marauder,
that's what
how
led
old are
to the
you?
fight.
I'm 24.
23, 24. Oh shit, got some youngins in the house. All right.
Ryan, you are correct. You are correct, Ryan.
God,
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tiff, you got a better fight anyway. You got things went the way they were supposed to go.
Yeah. No, my whole thing was I don't understand why she quit. She can't have the excuse that her hair got pulled. She
For
didn't
real.
quit
Oh,
because of
bro. Yeah.
You're getting punched in the face with 4-ounce gloves, and you're complaining about your hair getting pulled.
that. Literally, you're not feeling that. I don't give a shit. She pulled my hair probably 3 times. When I played back that fight, I was like, oh shit, wait, she got me first.
It's whatever. It's gonna happen with your fingers out there and doing those
Yeah.
flurries like you guys were.
Yeah, especially with those gloves they gave us. Like nobody's ever used those gloves. Like you could barely like make a fist in them.
Mm.
yeah, we gotta break them in on your face.
You know, sometimes sometimes you have fighters who look for the educated way out, the educated cop out. That's what that was. I need a way out. This makes sense in the moment.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's what we all agreed on too.
You know,
She wanted to get out.
you know, and it happens. You know, sometimes that's you know, that lack of fortitude. You know, mentally. You know, or cardio. You know, because you were pressing forward, and you know whether something's fully connecting or not. You know, a constant forward pressure is tiring. Oh snap! Commercial break us, please. We have the brand new. We got the brand new special edition Cardio is Key Gold Tee. You know, anybody who's looking for the reminder, looking to wear the reminder, you can find that on zwellworld.com. That again, that's zwellworld.com. Go ahead and get your Cardio is Key special edition tee. But yeah, I wish that fight would have went longer though, for sure.
Yeah, me too. But can't always get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was gonna ask because you know you guys have had fights with gloves and being a fighter, having this discipline, no one's like to get hit in the face, and you having said you had some street fights too, little scraps, you know, growing up. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on bare knuckle, whether it be bare knuckle MMA, bare knuckle just straight boxing versus gloves? Is that something you might ever consider? Because I know some
I'm
people, if
down.
they get paid, no.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah.
Say that. Yeah, say less. That's why I was trying to convince Steve in the first place. I was like, just let me go with no gloves. Just let me go in there, no gloves.
Steve ain't having it.
I'll stay on your good side. Remember, I smiled. You don't gotta hit me. Why aren't you, Marauder?
Man, I get a lot of my ground from being resilient, having a high constitution. No boxing gloves is going to take that away from me. Like, yeah, I got to get a lot sharper with my boxing before I consider that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Some of those, you gotta be crisp to the point. Bam! And you gotta just right some of those little corkscrew punches. All of a sudden, you see people coming out. They're like, bam! Oh,
Even just
Hey,
little
them
ones,
corkscrew
a little
punches
stiff
are
jab will do it to
deadly.
someone.
Like if you get hit in the heart with one of those corkscrew jabs, you are done with. Apparently, that shit could paralyze you.
Mm-hmm.
no!
Little Eds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, is that Cougar? Is that your friend?
No, hi.
Speaking of
See, that's
Cougar, right? For those who don't know, Marauder's name is right here. My question is, right? Because Marauder's a dope name, but Cougar's pretty badass. I'm
Right.
just saying, bro. Like,
Yeah.
why did we go with Marauder instead of Cougar? I'm just wondering.
Because I can't go in there with my own name. Like, that's kind of the idea I had. I got to have a nickname. Even if I didn't have a reason for it. When I signed up, I was like, oh, I got to have a nickname. So,
Wait, Marauder's not your middle name?
nah.
Bro.
My middle name's Martin, but
Shit.
Martin. Are getting clowned on forever now.
All the Street Beefs information comes out on this show. This whole time, I thought Marauder was your real middle name. I knew Cougar was your real name.
no, I'm like, you all are going to call me Marauder from now on. So I changed it.
Wow. Okay. That's dope.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Mind blown.
Like I said, exclusive info on MMA Underground. Yeah.
The tea's coming out.
Man.
TiffanyEds, I was gonna ask you, how many times have you shown your kid your fight? 1 or 10 or 15 times? Because you got that was a pretty killer win.
Probably about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as pretty killer being a parent, but I actually was gonna ask both of you if I know Marauder, you kind of answered this a little bit earlier, but if you ever had anybody really try to stop you from fighting, or anyone in the family to be like, you shouldn't do this. This isn't smart. Because I know I've had a few families when I first started with Streetbeefs be very hesitant and very careful with what I was doing, and after they kind of saw everything in the community, they were like, okay, this isn't what I expected, and then it was all right.
Yeah. Well, for me, I ain't got much family. It's just my gramps left. And when I told him, he's like, I don't think you should, but I know I can't stop you, so do what you want.
You're like, hey, Gramps, check out this win. Bam!
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a lot of potential. I mean, I would just say, you just got to hone it, hone your craft. But, you definitely have the natural fighter. I can see a natural fighter in you,
Absolutely.
So,
Coming out there with like the minimal training you had.
Yeah.
That was some good performance.
Thank you. Yeah. Did my best. It's really hard to pace the fight.
pacing is key.
What was that?
Now,
Pacing is key.
Yeah.
But, the more you spend time experiencing those moments, the more you'll be able to pace,
Definitely.
and now I know stepping into a cage, for anybody that understands it, there's these nerves that are really hard to kind of shake. And if you all were about to put a song on, you don't have to like play it out loud for the world to hear, but if you were gonna put a song on to help get you in the zone for a fight, what song are you picking? Or even if it's just an artist. Yeah.
I'm putting on
Some
like
ACDC.
yeah. When we were going up to the event, we rode together, John, Tiffany, and me, and we were playing some ACDC, getting warmed up, and I really like scream metal, so I listen to like 5-4 and Little Darky.
Nice.
Dope,
Hey,
dope.
some of that metal gets you hyped, gets your blood boiling too. You're just like, whoa, the metal's
Mhm.
going. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, how many kicks? That's supposed to be a double kick. Does he got a triple kick? What the hell? It's just like, oh, yeah.
300 beats per measure get you right, man.
Right.
uh, so I wanted to ask you, Marauder, starting all the way from your very first fight, how did you get involved with Street Beefs West Coast? How did you find out? What was your entryway?
Okay. Since I've been like 11 or 12, I've seen OG Street Beef videos, and I just stumbled across a video on Facebook that was from the West Coast branch. So I followed it, and I've been training Muay Thai for a minute, and I saw other people posting their training. So I started posting my own on the Facebook. So it's just from like natural, organic Facebook, like brought me to West Coast, and I saw how accessible it was. I thought it was a much harder gig to get into, and I feel like a lot of people have that impression. They're always asking like, "How do I get in these fights?" It's really as simple as signing up.
Facts.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was kind of curious about your guys' stance on a little extracurricular substance that many fighters in the fight world partake in, and some don't. They stay completely clean, try to keep their lungs fresh. But what are your thoughts on it? Whether you use it for recovery, do you think it helps you get into the zone when you're training, when you're fighting, or do you just try not to mess with it too much?
For me, I don't do it anymore. After I had kids and I tried to do it, but I just got paranoid, so I don't be doing it no more.
Okay.
Blame.
Yeah.
I'm a habitual smoker. I smoke every day, and my coach would catch me like high in class, and he would tell me it's gonna make me lazy, and I need to drink alcohol, so it'll make me angry.
Wow.
I was like, hell no. And then,
Wow.
but I do acknowledge a difference in my ability if I don't smoke for like a month, and it does make me a better fighter if I don't smoke for like a month, but it's not worth the trade-off for me because I get so much regulation from smoking. So I would be a better fighter without it, but I'm a better human with it.
But I feel like, yeah, so weed smoking does that. The mix with the weed and the fighting definitely gets me at this level because I let my aggression out, then I get more mellow, and I just chill, and I'm like, all right, cool. I got a couple miles to hit the bag. Got punched in the face. Someone punched me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And being punched in the face, I know TiffanyEds, you said that you had got some sparring in before your fight. Well, I was gonna ask you, was it kind of like just light sparring, working on some technique? Did you try to do some medium sparring to kind of get used to the way the feel of a hit would take, or?
It was about medium, yeah. Just did some medium sparring.
Marauder, when you spar, do you try to keep it like lighter, medium too, or do you ever mix it heavy once in a while, or?
Yeah, I'll turn it on to the body. You're not gonna get CTE from getting a liver shot, and leg kicks especially. Like if you're doing Muay Thai, they need to be conditioned. But I'll hit you as hard as I'm getting hit. That's kind of my baseline, and that's my philosophy. Like you should hit people in the body hard.
Yeah, you should see Cougar and John go at it.
Oh yeah.
It's good times.
Mm-hmm. We put it on in the park.
I wanted to ask you with taking on Muay Thai, and I can tell you've been with it for some time now. Who are some of your influences when it comes to fighters?
Rod Tang was the first one that got me most invested in Muay Thai, and Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah.
I really like both of those fellas. They made me like Muay Thai the most. All like the classic Thai guys, Sanchai, Balkau.
He's man.
Right.
Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a fun fighter. I don't know if he's older. He's more kickboxing. Was Bill Superfoot Wallace. You heard of him?
Bill Wallace? I'm not sure.
Oh man, he has
Probably
some. You
have.
talk
I've
about
watched
some.
a lot of footage.
Yeah, he has some killer kickboxing matches, and there was a couple of times when Mr. Wu from the Scrapyard, shout out Mr. Wu, yeah, showed me where there's a part where he picks up a comb with his foot, splits a guy's hair perfectly, and gives him a full comb over with his foot, and then brings his comb back and puts it down all without falling, moving, nothing. I was like, oh, yeah.
He's got balance on 100.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You
And I know
swing
that
from the trees with that.
right. I know that Boakwa has been done some movies. Do either of you have any favorite fight movies, fight shows, anything fight related that you've seen on TV?
I like Kung Fu Hustle. That's a good one. That's my but not too much. I don't watch too much fighting. 300 is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't watch too much either. When I do watch, it's because John put it on.
Okay, I got one right here. Right, I just pick this up.
That's
Yeah.
Iron
That's a
Fist.
good one. Yeah, the man with the iron fist, good one. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good one right here. I like it. Damn.
what's up. That's what's up.
I was gonna say the old school, the 36 Chambers movies, all of them. Oh, you get like a 5-minute fight scene with no music, just sound effects, just like damn.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But while we're having lots of fun on the show, I know that we're getting close to the time where I gotta be the bad guy, and almost say we gotta wrap things up here soon because I know we're all in different time zones as well, unfortunately. But this is cool because we're not going quite yet, and I gotta ask Samke, do you have any final questions for our guests for this evening?
Sure, man. So I'll start with Miss TiffanyEds. Do you see yourself maybe traveling to any other yards?
Oh, it's a possibility, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I know John wants to check some out too, so eventually we'll get there more than likely.
Streetbeefs
Yeah.
first fighting couple.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta get the warm up in first.
Yeah. And then for Marauder, what is, in terms of fighting, what is your end goal? What would
My
you
end
like
goal?
to, in terms of fighting?
I want to prove myself as a capable fighter and then like open up a gym. That would be like the end goal, like dream. Prove to people that I'm capable of training them and then train them.
So
I like that. I want to see that. I'll come. I'll pay. Come get a drop class lesson. Get a flight out. Get a little
Word, that's
something. But and I think I saw Naughty Nate in the comments earlier too. I got to come all the way down and get a gym. I actually was talking to my girl about that, guys. So if you're still in the comments, I talked to her about taking the time off on a Friday. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna be there the whole day with the whole gym. So yeah.
Right, yeah.
Make sure I get juice, food. I don't think I'll be able to drive back. My legs might be dead.
Yeah, that's where I got some work with Chef. It's an excellent gym.
Nah, and you've been there too, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been there. Yeah, John's been there. John goes there more than I do. I just been in there once to actually spar around. So
Nice.
Hey, shout out Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu.
yeah.
Now, before we let you go, we have to get some social medias, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere if you want someone to see like your fight journey, where to get a hold of you if they want to contact you for any future fights, or even anything you want to just let the people know about y'all too.
Okay. My Instagram is Marauders Motivation. My TikTok and all other Instagram or social medias are Marauder Muay Thai, and I post my different fight content, my training, anything I'm up to, a lot of my fight clips. come and give me some love on there. I don't got enough followers yet. Come give me some more. I'm trying to get those sponsorships. They need to be pumping up.
For me, you could just check out my Instagram. My Instagram is Queen B. And then my Facebook is just Tiffany Edwards.
And we appreciate you guys. It was a great time. And y'all have a great night.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Heck yeah. Damn, that's what I'm talking about. Fun times. And see,
Yep.
I always feel bad being the bad guy, but it has to happen.
Hey man, we can't run our batteries out. You know what I'm saying? But the show ain't over.
No, we still got some fighting left.
Zuel, lifestyle wear for the fighter in you. A movement to show that by utilizing hard work, grit, and determination, you could achieve any dream as long as you were willing to put in the hard work. Buddy V creates his own unique artwork and designs all of his clothing, jewelry, and accessories, taking the time to create every item so you could feel the pride in every piece. As a living embodiment of Zuel's principles, Buddy V fights MMA while staying active in the community, promoting positivity. Whether you are a stay-at-home parent, entrepreneur, or anything else, there is a place for you at Zuel.
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
What's up? Buddy V's Fighters to Watch. Oh, shit. You know, we always start at the Scrapyard. And so today, from the Scrapyard, we actually have TiffanyEds as a fighter. Because as you heard Samke say himself earlier, she has natural fighting ability. You can see it. The way she throws a punch, the way she can eat a punch, and even some of the head movement. If she said that she fought like that with minimal training, I can only imagine what's going to happen if she's in a gym consistently or just, whatever. She's going to elevate crazy levels. So that's my scrapyard fighter. But we got to, walk all the way over to the West Coast because we have Prometheus. Man, I watched his most recent fight right here, and he was going all out first round. He had a head movement. He was swinging back and forth. Him and his opponent are breathing heavy. The dogs had to come out halfway through the first round because they're just swinging for the fences like crazy. It was insane to watch. And so, please, Prometheus, I was sitting there, and by the time the whole fight had finished, which I'm not going to tell you guys who won, you guys have to go watch it, but let me get some more fights. That was enjoyable like crazy. So, yeah, let me get some more. Now we're gonna go all the way to the OG yard. We have Dame Dollar. Now this was a fun fight to watch because his most recent one was fun. And as I looked, he had a couple of them, and in the couple he actually showed some skill, and you can see that through the matches he evolved a little bit more to his most recent fight, earning a nice KO. So now I've seen what he's done. I've seen the skill grow. I want to see someone with the skill level come out and pull that dog out. And I want to see a fight all the way to the end. So, yeah, you already know he's a killer fighter. He's going to be enjoying to watch. So go check out Dame Dollar. But those are my 3 fighters to watch.
Man, great picks as always, man.
Dare I say?
Fire picks. Samke and the Fire 5. We're going to start things off at the OG yard as always. We have a boxing match, Bam Bam versus Genji. Boxing match. We had an aggressive start right out the gate. Big punches being fired off. And this was like nonstop in your face action right here. But as we say every episode, pacing is key. Nonetheless, we had a sudden turn of events, and yeah, I won't spoil it. I'll let you guys go check that fight out. Street Beefs OG Yard, Bam Bam versus Gingy, firefight. You see it, Street Beef Scrapyard. If you're trying to look this fight up, this is Epic Tan versus Jinja Ninja. This was a nighttime boxing match, heavyweight big boy boxing, I might add. And these guys, man, they went out there and they put on. They did not disappoint. Both of these guys possessing great fight IQs, heavy shots being thrown all throughout the fight. Just a beautiful battle. Both of these guys looking to establish their rhythm, establish their dominance. And we saw some unforgiving pressure. And what a way to push and get that dub. Street Beef Scrapyard, Epic Tan versus Jinja Ninja, firefight. Taking you back to the West Coast. Street Beefs West Coast, you see it. Bloody Raps versus Pillar Man, boxing match. Oh, man, this was a great fight right here. Crispy, solid boxing right here. Great defenses being shown. Two new guys, very well matched. Both of these guys coming out and trying to make a name for themselves. We see that the height and the reach is a factor. We see the ripping body shots being a factor. And ultimately, it just made for a great fight. Although we did get some missing footage at the end of the fight. But nonetheless, firefight. Street Beefs West Coast, Bloody Raps versus Pillar Man. Taking you to Street Beefs OG Yard. You see it. Title match at that. Two legends of the OG Yard. Sensation versus Hardest Stone. Man, we see the return of Hardest Stone. It's been a little minute. And these guys put on. And this was a boxing match of all fights. This was yet another rematch between these two. And we saw some focused strikes. We saw some determined mindsets between these two, both looking for the kill, both looking to get that dub over the other. Once again, we say it every single episode. Cardio is key. Cardio is key. Cardio is key. That played a role in this fight here. And man, just a fire fight nonetheless. Street Beefs OG Yard, Sensation versus Hardest Stone, firefight. And we're going to go ahead and end things off tonight with yet another OG Yard fight. This is not the fight. We have Martial Botanist versus The Redeemer. This was a boxing match right here. And man, it was an explosive start. But again, pacing is key. We see that the aggressor receives the same type of energy right back to him. And we got some crushing body work. And we got a solid finish that ends that fight. Street Beefs OG Yard, Martial Botanist versus The Redeemer, Sam K and the Fire 5.
Fire! All I know is my face dropped. I did not see that Sensation versus Hardest Stone fight. What?
Yeah,
When
man.
did that-
That dropped a few days ago, maybe last week.
All right, I was gonna go check it out, man. I was slipping. Hardest Stone's one of my favorite fighters ever. But
Yeah, same, bro. Yeah, bro. You know, it was a good fight. I would have liked to seen maybe kickboxing or MMA, but you know, you could tell Hardest Stone was, you know, basically making his way back to the yard. So a hell of a way to make a comeback, you know, fighting Sensation. So, you know, just go check that out whenever you get a chance. Everyone else watching, y'all know the deal. Go check them out. If you've already seen it, you already know it's fire. Watch it again.
yeah, get that replay value up.
Yeah.
But Even though it's fun times, man, is it about that time?
Yeah, man, it's about that time, bro. Shout out to our guest tonight. We appreciate you, TiffanyEds. Thank you for your time. People, go check out her fight. It was a great fight on Streetbeefs Scrapyard. That's TiffanyEds. Shout out to Marauder. Marauder just had 2 fights drop, one on Scrapyard, the other on Streetbeefs West Coast. So go check out both of his fights, as well as he's got a bunch of fights that he's already he's done over the past year or two. So check out Marauder. Thank you for your time, bro. Great having you. Buddy V, thank you as always. Killer co-host. Jay in the background, killer producer. Couldn't do it without y'all. Every week we do it. I want to thank Street Beefs, OG Yard, Scrapyard, West Coast, Dirty South. We do this for y'all. Everybody watching live, everybody on replay. We do this for y'all. Go check out the fights. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. We're all about support. We're all about sharing and cooperation. Yeah, man. If y'all trying to check for me, I'm on here, same time, same place every week. Want to give a shout out to swellworld.com. That's where you can get the Cardio is Key shirts, exclusive, special edition. You saw it earlier. Buddy V had the gold, the special edition gold. But we also have a couple new colors out there, you know, for anyone who's looking for, you know, some other colors instead of the black. We have the gold, but we also have the white, the gray, you know, and more to come, more to come. Shout out to Overtime Hustling Magazine. Shout out to Heart in the Fight. And yeah, man, that's it for me.
Yeah, shout out to Zuel. You know what it is? Well, world.com and MMA Underground. We got our own page on there too, so you can check out, read some bios about, you know, Jane, some, KC, little some. Just go support. Go to Zuel_Buddy V for the Instagram. You can see stories I've been posting consistently. And I started this thing called Mental Monday or Mental Movement Mondays. Yeah, cardio is key. You know where to get it.
Swell
So we
World.
have a good time. Zuel World. Mental Movement Mondays is fun. You know, you want to meet little people early in the morning at 6:30 in the morning, just get a little different spin on stuff. Get the mind moving, because don't forget, it's all muscles. Everything's all connected. You got to make sure you exercise everything all at once. Yeah. And yeah, I just want to say thank y'all very much for watching, because every single person there in that crowd, we wouldn't be here on a Tuesday if it wasn't for all of you, which is my favorite part of the day. So okay, we kill it every single Tuesday. I couldn't do it without you, man. Woo! Jay, we gotta keep you on your toes, and we did that today. Yeah. So you guys know that we always end the show in Jay's famous words with one world, one love, deuces.
Hey!